We're taught from childhood that power comes from votes and public support. But some of the most powerful people in history never needed elections or public approval at all. We are taught that leaders remain in control because people choose them, that protests or elections can topple a government, and that power is something earned fairly. But history tells a very different story. Welcome to Historyx videos. Real power doesn't come from popularity or charisma. It comes from control, and it is usually hidden in three critical areas that most people never notice. First, control of resources. Power begins with access, not just to money but to essentials like food, water, jobs, energy, and opportunities. Imagine a system that decides who works, who gets paid, who receives fuel or education. Most people don't rise up because survival depends on compliance, so they adapt quietly, shaping their behavior to fit the rules rather than risk total loss. During World War II, for example, Germany's tight control over food and fuel distribution meant that even those who disagreed with the regime had little choice but to follow along. Second, control of fear. You don't need constant force to maintain obedience. Fear alone is often enough. When people sense that disobedience has real consequences, like losing safety, freedom, or basic stability, they self-regulate. The Cold War offers a striking example. The ever-present threat of nuclear annihilation kept entire nations in a tense state of compliance without a single shot being fired. Third, control of information. This is the quietest yet most effective form of power. When systems dictate what people see, hear, and focus on, or intentionally obscure certain truths, perception becomes reality. People end up debating each other over partial facts while the real decisions remain invisible. Propaganda has been used by dictators for centuries, but even democratic systems manipulate narratives through media and messaging to shape opinions and behavior. This combination explains why massive protests, social media outrage, or viral campaigns often fail to produce meaningful change. Voices may rise, hashtags may trend, but if the system still controls resources, fear, and information, power remains unmoved, patiently waiting for the noise to die down. And when the commotion fades, life continues almost exactly as before, unnoticed by the masses. The truth is uncomfortable. Power is not about votes, popularity, or even laws. It is about who controls the systems that people depend on every day. Once you start seeing power this way, you begin to notice its footprints everywhere. In governments, corporations, media, and even in the communities around you. And suddenly the world looks very different, because the rules you assumed were obvious were never truly yours to begin with. So what do you think? Are we truly free, or are we just following a set of rules that were never meant for our benefit? Share your thoughts in the comments below.